Review on the Honda Fireblade CBR929. For those of you that don't know, you probably do anyway. These were made 2000, 2001. These were first of the fuel injected models. And they're quite nice bikes actually. If you're an older rider like myself, you know, I'm in my mid-50s, and you still want a sports bike, the riding position on these is brilliant. I've had the 918, the 954, the R1, you name it, I've had them. The 954, your knees are up by your, you know, quite high up. With these, the foot pegs are just slightly different position. So you can jump on one of these, go and do 300 miles, you won't have a problem. When I had my 954, 100 miles, my knees were killing me. These are a lot better. Right, a few things if you're thinking of buying one. Do's and don'ts and whatever. Buy the best you can. Again, I always say that on bikes. Buy the best you can if you're looking for one. If you're looking for one to put away, or you want one for a collection or whatever, make sure that the back end hasn't been cut down, which most of them have been cut down. It's quite rare to find them with the back end on. I say rare, if there's 50 listed, 3 of them might only have the back end on. They're still doing the recalls on this Honda. So there was 3 recalls. There was the fuel line, there was the clutch, inside the clutch, and bottom parts of the forks. They're still doing them. So if you get a bike, ring up Honda, give them your VIN number. If the bottom of the forks haven't been done, they'll do them for free. So it costs you nothing. This one, apart from the screen and the exhaust, is standard, and it really is in stunning condition. This one, you know, you don't get them in this sort of condition, to be honest. Things to look out for, right? When you buy one of these, make sure when you turn the ignition on, the F1 light goes out. Ding, ding, ding. There it goes. See, the F1 light one's gone out. Now, that means there's no faults as a rule. If the F1 light stays on, there's a fault somewhere. Also check, if you're wanting one that's not been messed with, check these 2 cables are still in. Them cables are for the airbox stroke exhaust servo. Excuse me. A lot of people, when the Hicks valve jams, which can happen, it's no big deal. It's bikes that have been used outside a lot and not, you know, been washed and cleaned properly. The exhaust servo goes, and instead of replacing the Hicks and the exhaust servo, what they do is they take the wires off, screw the flap over and put an exhaust buddy on to take the F1 light on. So just check if those are there. Don't get me wrong, when they're all removed and that, it doesn't really affect the bike. The bike still will ride, drive as normal. But personally, Honda had the flaps there to open and close for a reason. So I personally want it working still as it should be. There's no real faults with these, to be fair. You get the regulator rectifiers go, but that's a Honda thing. You get them on a lot of Hondas. It's no real big deal. Yeah, there's not too much of a problem with them. They can jump out of second gear, but that's normally only if they've been absolutely abused, track ridden, quick shifters put on them. You know, they can suffer from that problem. But I suppose that's the same as any bike. The Kawasaki Ninja 600, 636, they're all the same as well if they're abused. So, but as a good rider's bike, there's not really a lot of problems with these. They're good for long distance. They've got a good tank range. The handling on these is superb. Really is superb. Every bit as good as the R1s I was on, and me 954, the 954 CBR 954. Basically, they're the same bike. They're slightly tweaked here and there, but it's the same engine, same wheels, same forks. You know, they've just changed a little bit here. I think moved the tank forward about 8 mil. So, you know, no big deals. So yeah, as a ride, as a sports touring, if you want to call it, I would still just call it a sports bike, but as a sports touring bike, these are a real good bike to go for. I know this might not be the best of reviews, I'm just trying to think of faults on it. Comfortable, they ride superb, handling's great, they don't really have a lot of problems, they're quite bulletproof to be fair. This one's what, 2000 plate, this is one of my personal ones. This is 23,000 mile and it's bulletproof. Always check as well, here's one for you. Down here, you'll get what looks like a little fag burn. That's where the bike's been dropped. Now, it's a good thing to look out for, actually. You'll see that somebody will either stick a sticker over it, or it looks like a fag burn. And what that is the bolt on the other side, when the bike hits the floor, it tries to push through. So it looks like a fag burn, but it isn't. That's very, very common. So if you're looking at bikes now on eBay to buy one, look down the bottom there. You'll either see a fag, looks like a fag burn, but it isn't. Or you'll see a sticker over it. That's a sign of the bike's being dropped. Always have a look on these as well. You'll find a lot of these mudguards are smashed off from the D-lock. Again, very common. You'll see lots of those on there. What else? I'm just trying to think. No, nothing. I can't really fault the bike. I've owned what, 4 of these as my personal bikes. This is one of my personal bikes. It's actually up for sale at the moment. I can no longer ride any sort of sports bike due to health reasons, but anyway, it's another story. But yeah, there's not much I don't know about the 929. I must have bought over the last 15 years 120 of them, maybe a bit more. 10 to 15 a year over the last 15 years, so you work it out. But I've always had one in my collection, you know, good ones, and I've ridden the 929. Well, for 4 years I had the 929 as my only bike, or my main bike I should say. So I've done a lot of miles on the 929s over the years. I've probably put 25,000 miles on the 929s, but yeah, they're great to ride. I've got no problem on jumping on a 929, going to Wales and back from Huddersfield, you know, doing 250, 300 miles on them, not a problem. They're comfortable, power delivery is great. No real power, you know, power band on these. It's just smooth right through. You get some bikes, it's like my R1, you hit the 7,000 revs, it's like warp, but this isn't. This is more what I would call like the Rolls Royce. It's just smooth. But yeah, if you're looking for one of these, they're a good bike. Try and buy the best you can. Try and not buy one where someone's cut the back end off and done this and it's got damage down there from a scrape, or the bits have been taken off the other side of the wires. Just look for a good honest one. Good honest ones hold their value. Ones like this with the original back, well, this is original. If you just put an original exhaust back on it and an OEM screen, it's original bike. Just try and buy the best you can, because these are going up in value. You can buy one of these, I don't know, you can buy them for as little as £2,000, but you're buying a donkey. This one's up, I think 3,900 I've got it up for. But you'll be able to ride this for 2-3 years, stick a couple of thousand miles on it, and it'll probably go up in value if you keep it in this condition. Or you're not going to lose any money. It's as simple as that. You buy a donkey, you've always got a donkey. So, yeah, hopefully it's helped somebody out. They've got the HIS system, which is Honda across the board, I suppose. But yeah, good bikes, especially if you know, for the slightly older rider. They'll hold their own. I think top speed's 150, 160, I'm not sure. But it'll definitely keep up with the big boys, or the newer bikes, not a problem. I think it's a lot of bike for the money, to be fair. Hope this helps somebody out. This one's for sale, by the way, on eBay if anybody's interested. I'll see if I can start it actually without, I don't know if I've got to hold my clutch, I'm not sure at the minute on this. I've got to hold my clutch, I bet you. That's on the cold start, so runs at about 2,000 RPMs, and then it drops down, obviously, as you'll know. But yep, hope this helps somebody out if they're looking to buy a 929.